Howdy everyone. How's everyone doing, eh? First time doing a stream. I'm just checking if everything is looking good. Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit nervous, not going to lie. It has been a while since the first time I did a stream. I actually didn't do it here in YouTube. I started doing streams on Twitch, if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, I'm sorry. I got a little bit lost watching myself in the mirror. Yeah, it looks good. It looks like everything is on and everything is ready. Let me put some music in the background. Of course, not copyright because I don't want to get sued that much. I didn't find any music that I would find like cool for this moment. But what is important is to say thank you for being here if you're watching. Hi, I'm Emilio Blacksmith. I am a game developer, as you have probably watched, and by watching the whole channel, I'm not only a game developer, I also do some things regarding software development. And this is the first time I'm doing streams in this channel because I've been thinking about it since even before the whole Frogger project, the last project that I did, was done. I've been thinking about doing streams for a while. But yeah, it sounds like something fun to learn and to see how it goes. The idea for this stream is that everything is set and ready. I have even a to-do list, a checklist of things that I'm going to be doing with you guys, and you are going to be present the whole time. Right now, of course, it has been just nothing, 3 minutes, from which only talking has been only 2, of course. But let me know, how does it sound? Does it sound good? What do you think about the whole setup? Does it sound like I know what I'm doing? Because if I do sound like I know what I'm doing, probably that's not true. Yeah, the whole idea behind these streams are going to be testing and doing some development besides you. And yeah, let's see how it goes. Yes, yes, yes. But for today's stream, I already have some things that are planned for today's stream. We're going to be doing some RPG elements. I'm not going to, of course, be doing something very fancy. The idea is that I'm going to be doing some RPG elements. But all of this is because of Unity's things, you know, what happened recently last month with Unity. And I've been thinking about switching engines for a while, and I'm actually learning a bit of Unreal Engine and Godot besides it. So yeah, let me know how it sounds. Does it sound like I'm popping too much? Let me know. I will just change the audio settings if you need. But yeah, I put already some music. I just forgot to set it up, and I think it's online now. So yeah. What I learned is that most YouTube streams actually require a bit of planning. It's not only just, you know, putting it live and being like, oh yeah, let's see what we do. So let's start with what is important here, the whole talking. You know, I like talking, so we'll see how it goes. Before we start doing anything with Godot, I am thinking about talking about the whys. You know, why am I doing this? Besides, I am dead inside. You know, like there should be more reasons why I'm switching to Godot. And it's true. I am actually. There are many reasons why I'm switching to Godot. I've been thinking about it for a while, and the whole idea has to do only with Unity's decision. Um, let's talk about Unity's decisions. Yeah. Overall, what Unity did has been a whole mess. If you haven't been present in the whole debacle of Unity and the whole explosion of the Unity in game dev communities regarding the whole new way of paying the engine to use the engine. So usually when you are a game developer and you want to do any game, what it happens is that you need to pay a certain percentage. For example, in the case of Unreal Engine, when you want to use the engine, and let's say you did a small game, a small project that you are going to sell, what happens is that Unreal Engine would take that from the whole sales, like the amount of copies that you sold and the amount of net money that you actually got. For example, Steam gets a bit of the cut. So for example, sorry for saying for example too much, but what happens is that Steam, when you release a game in Steam, the Steam webpage and the Steam storefront, Steam already owns a certain percentage of the whole units that you sell. So for example, if you sell 100 copies and your game is $1 each copy, if I'm not mistaken, Steam gets a total of 30%, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, in the case of the engine, what happens is that Unreal Engine gets a certain percentage based on the whole sales. So the fee is based on percentage in the case of Unreal Engine. What happened with Unity is that they tried something not as good. In other words, they tried to do something that a lot of people didn't like. In other words, they were trying to ask for money based on the amount of installs that were that the users did from your game. So if for example, I'm sorry, I was looking at the chat. It's not like something is happening, but you know, I was lost by the "Help me, Jesus" message that I said. What happens is that Unity was trying to get a cut based on the amount of installs of the game. So let's say if in a month 100k users installed your game, then you will start to get a certain fee based on the amount of installs. So every install would be 0.2 cents, if I'm not mistaken. And those 0.2 cents are not as bad when you think about it, but I mean, there were many areas that I find not as good. The issue wasn't the money, like paying the engine. I mean, at the end of the day, you're using the tools for a reason. So even when you are using Adobe tools, even though you might not like the whole subscription-based thing, you need to pay. So it's okay. It's not bad. What is bad is a bit of how it was going at the beginning of the month of, if I'm not mistaken, it was in September, when they said something in the lines of asking for a monthly fee. So every month, based on the month, they're going to ask you a fee percentage of that whole installs that happen in that month. So it was a bit not as good as you might think. Another thing that happened, and in my opinion, the thing that was the worst about the whole situation of Unity's situation is the problem with a small action that they did. There's something that they did that, in my opinion, is like really bad. Is that in their GitHub repository? If you don't know, GitHub is the place where we tend to send all of our projects. Usually, in the GitHub repository, you have files, the whole project. So, for example, every game that I've done, it's in GitHub, and it helps you with version control and other things. It's very fancy when it comes to, you know, if you are a developer, you might know GitHub already. If you're not, it's just a place where you put files, and it's very important for developers because it helps you check the history of every and the changes of every file. But yeah, in the case of what Unity did in the whole debacle is that they deleted a file. That file, it was the terms of service. So in other words, a legal file that allowed those developers to know the whole contract that we sign in, let's say. So every time you use a tool, every time you play a game, you have an agreement. Let's say it's a type of contract that allows you to, in other words, to keep everyone safe. So for example, like developer would feel more safe that they already said to the user that we are gathering data from them. So yeah, it's a legal way of being safe for the company. And in the case of a tool, the user, because at the end of the day, the end user is knowing and checking if there are any changes in the terms of service. In the case of Unity, what happened is that they deleted the terms of services. So every time, I mean, those changes already have been saved, and the tool now is a bit better, in other words, because now the CEO is gone and all that. But what happened is that if you needed to publish a game, just because there is no longer a terms of service, Unity could say that you deployed this game with the new terms of service, aka you need to pay with the new fee and the runtime fee and the whole issue that happened in the community. So that was a bit of a thing that made me feel unsafe using a tool just like Unity. So yeah, that's mainly the reason that made me think, well, I am a bit scared of one day, what if you are developing anything and out of nowhere you publish a game, everything goes well, and out of nowhere the engine is like, hey, I'm going to get a 90% cut of your game. That's not good. No good, not good. So that's why I'm switching to a new engine. And the case of well, the good thing is something that I need to say right now is the fact that the current, well, we already have a new, like the last CEO, the one that makes most of these changes, and the one that a lot of people say that it's responsible of all the things that just happened right now, John Riccitello, he's gone. So that's a good thing, we can say. Now, okay, everything is doing fine. I look good. I look kind of tired. I'm sorry. It's 6:44 p.m. here in my country. So I am a bit tired, but it's okay. I want to do this stream because I've been thinking about it and blah 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 blah. You know. And now I needed to talk to you in the case you are a beginner that is trying to make games. If one day you are interested in doing games and you are a complete beginner that don't know anything but is interested in new tools, and what tools should you use? Back in even 3 months ago, anyone would have said that you should learn Unity for many reasons. It's the most well-known, it's the most famous. There's a lot of tutorials, there's a lot of data that you can get to do games with Unity. Nowadays, what I would suggest, if you ask me, should I learn Unity engine? The truth is, yes and no. It's funny to say, but I just learned something really recently. We were talking about 2 days ago. It's a concept named engine agnostic development. In other words, instead of focusing on learning the tool and focusing on the packages that come from the tool, we are thinking in an agnostic way when it comes to the engine. So, in other words, what you are trying to do is to code as much as possible when it comes to what you do. So, in the case of doing a physics engine, instead of using the rigid body engine, the rigid body physics that come from Unity, as an engine agnostic, what they would do is to take the engine and use it just as a tool from which they will use mostly C# to code everything. So we are trying not to use things such as Cinemachine. We're trying to not use things such as the whole rigid body. Try your best to code as much as possible without the help of the libraries made with the engine. So let's say one day you are developing something, and you want to, you notice that there was a big change that you don't like at all when it comes to the engine, what you can do is just take that, for example, C# code and translate it to another engine. That is the agnostic, like the engine agnostic way of doing and developing things. I'm sorry, let me drink a bit of water. Yeah, I'm depressed. Where was I? Oh yeah. So, if you want to learn Unity, go ahead. But what I would suggest is to try your best to do it in an engine agnostic way. So try your best to code everything with C#. Try your best to not use libraries that may be from Unity. So some packages mostly. If you know, a lot of tutorials from Unity come from, oh, how can you use the Pro Builder tool? How can you use Cinemachine? How can you use blah 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 blah? So try your best to, if you are a complete beginner and you want to learn Unity, go ahead. I would suggest it, yeah, of course, but learn it with the focus on the programming languages. So C# in this case. So the cool thing about it is that one day, if anything goes wrong and everything goes south with Unity, you can just take that piece of code that you did with C# and translate it to Godot, because Godot actually allows us, ever since Godot 3.0, if I'm not mistaken, to use the C# code inside the Godot engine. So that's and the transition is really easy, because instead of, let's say, oh, transform dot position in Unity, you can just use dot position in Godot. And sometimes it's just as simple as that when it comes to the transition of using the language as a focus instead of the whole engine. So that's something that I just learned really recently when it comes to how I would recommend anyone, if they are complete beginners, to use the whole Unity engine as a complete beginners. And yeah, that will be my suggestion. If you're interested in becoming a game dev, go ahead, learn Unity if you want to. But take into account that maybe one day you might need to switch, so it's good to have a lot of tools and learn a lot of tools. But at the end of the day, I would suggest C#, because C# is the language that I like the most and the one that I feel the most comfortable. And yeah, now another thing that I wanted to talk to you. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of talking right now, but to be honest, I wanted to talk with all of this as a type of video. That's why I planned this stream somewhat of a video. Why am I using Godot, or I'm going to the Godot route instead of the Unreal Engine route? So, to keep it as simple as possible and to not waste too much of your time, what I'm trying is to, well, where do I come from? Yeah, well, as someone that comes from the Unity game engine and someone that loved the tool and would say it was in a very intermediate to advanced proficiency when it comes to the engine, the Unity engine, I feel way more comfortable with Godot when it comes to the whole transition, because the transition, instead of being C# to C++, that the difference is that one language is way more difficult than the other. In other words, it's smooth. It's just smooth to transition from Unity to Godot. So that's why I've been choosing Godot instead of Unreal Engine. And I'm going to be honest, Godot is not the best when it comes to 3D, or from the test that I've been doing, it's not as good. It can get good, but it's not the best when it comes to 3D. If you want to do the best 3D graphics and games and all that stuff and shenanigans, maybe you should go to learn Unreal Engine. Hello, Matthew. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I was talking about the difference between Godot and Unreal Engine for everyone interested in becoming a game developer. That's why, as you have noticed, I've been talking and talking. How you doing? And yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, the Unreal Engine is really good. We cannot deny that it has so many good tools when it comes to the 3D. So, for example, from 3D rendering, in a 3D rendering perspective, if you are a 3D artist, go ahead and learn Unreal Engine so you can showcase your art better. Because there are things such as Nanite, there are uh, such as Nanite compared to maybe Godot, that the engine is not as good when it comes to 3D. I mean, it's good, but not as good. Um, oh, that's great. That's great. That's great that you are here and you are interested in why I am using Godot instead of Unreal. I mean, at the end of the day, both are really good. Godot, I would say, is way better for 2D games than 3D games. The tools for it are really good. The node system is really good, and we're going to watch it together in a moment, of course. But yeah, if you are a 3D artist, someone that is trying to do a short film, let's say, for example, you, Matthew, are interested in doing um, a short film with 3D, of course, I would really recommend Unreal Engine. When it comes to the programmers, in my case, for example, I am not as comfortable with the C++ programming language. It's way difficult. It's better, but it's difficult. When it comes to C++, and I'm trying to be as less technical as possible because it's too much information, and the truth is that C++ is good. It allows you a lot of performance, but that also comes from the fact that you need to code a lot. You weren't subscribed? That's funny that this is the first time I'm watching that this works. Thank you so much for subscribing, Matthew. I love you. Oh yeah, where was I? The Unreal Engine as a 3D artist perspective is really good, but when it comes to a programmer developer, well, the game programmer, I think it's very complicated. And yeah, we can use things such as blueprints. I don't know if you guys have heard about blueprints, but blueprints allows you to do visual scripting. In other words, you don't need to do any code. But the issue comes if you are interested in becoming a full-time developer in high setting. So let's say if you want to get a job, like get a job in a AAA company or any company, because there's a lot of people that are searching for C++ developers. So if you're interested in that, go ahead. But it's more difficult than C#. C# is it's a bit more friendly in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, Unreal Engine is really good when it comes to 3D. Godot is really good when it comes to 2D. If you want to do hobby games, Godot. If you want to do 3D animations and cinematics and you are an artist, Unreal Engine. If you want to do hobby games and you don't care too much about performance and you're more interested in maybe visual scripting, of course, go ahead and learn Unreal Engine. It's just really good when it comes to Nanite, the new technologies from Unreal Engine 5. So Nanite, Lumen, and everything when it comes to DirectX 12. That is so great when it comes to Unreal Engine. When it comes to Godot and the 3D art, it's not bad. It's good, but it's not perfect. It cannot be compared with Unreal Engine when it comes to the 3D rendering. Because, first of all, it uses Vulkan, if I'm not mistaken. It's not bad. Vulkan is really good. But when it comes to many of the new technologies that are heavily intense with DirectX, such as Nanite and Lumen. Oh yeah, I actually heard about Cascadier. I like what I've seen, but I haven't used it. It's a really good tool from what I've seen. Like, it allows you to deploy really nice animations without too much work. So it's really cool, but I haven't used it a lot. So I may use it for this project. Who knows? But yeah, from what I said before, I have a checklist of things that I'm actually thinking about doing and talking today. Because I am treating this stream as a video. Just letting you know. Oh, damn. Oh, sorry. I don't know why my camera got a bit fuzzy. I actually have it, but I have to figure it out. Yeah, I installed it a long time ago. Then I never use it. I uninstalled it, and there's where I am at currently. To be honest, Blender is really good. You probably have already used it. If I'm not mistaken, you were learning it. Yeah, you were learning it, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Blender is good. Cascadeur is really cool when it comes to doing animations faster and them being a bit better because it uses, if I'm not mistaken, artificial intelligence to and a bit of algorithms to kind of get into the flow of the animation. So it's really cool. Oh, I didn't ask you. Now taking advantage that you are the only person here. How does it sound when it comes to the microphone? Does it sound good? Am I too loud? Should I maybe get the volume a bit down? The music, does it sound good? You know. Now it's time to talk about my next game, and the main reason why I'm trying to learn Godot in the first place, and maybe even the reason why I'm learning Godot instead of Unreal Engine. Besides the point of me saying my response is very delayed. Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. I said it's not a delay, but I said I don't know if let me see what's the name of it. If I'm not mistaken, the latency. Yeah, the latency. I mean, I am using right now normal latency. Maybe in the next one, if I notice that I need a faster latency, I might just change that small detail. Right now it's normal, so in other words, it's a bit slower to get you. But that's because I'm interested in getting good quality first right now. Maybe in the next one, that might be in this week, who knows. I might change that to a faster latency, so the response is less delayed. So I'm sorry if that is an inconvenience. Yeah, the next video game I'm doing, of course. Yeah, that's why we're here, of course. Yes. First, let me talk to you about the game that didn't do as well. The last project I did, Frogger, but with rectals. It was a game that took me 4 months to develop, and the video I did about it didn't perform as good. Yeah, fair enough. The video I did about it didn't perform as good, as you can notice if you are currently in the live stream. Thank you, Matthew. You can check my channel and you notice the last video is just like 200 views in a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. But yeah, talking about it, and why am I talking about the fact that the video and the game didn't do as well? Is the reasoning of me learning a lot of lessons, and that's why I'm doing actually streams. A bit of it has to do with the fact that the game and the video didn't perform as good as I thought, or maybe as I expected. For my next game, I want to be a bit more communicative, a bit more direct. That's why I'm trying to do more content, and besides content, I'm trying to do more YouTube videos, more streams, and have people be involved in the whole process more often. From all the things that I learned from that project, one of the things come from the bad idea. When I'm talking about a bad idea, I'm talking about the fact that I'm going to be honest, the video that I did, it was based on another YouTube video that I watched, that it was remaking Mario Kart but with rectals. It was a bit based on it, like it was referencing a lot of the main point or the main idea. So when I was thinking about the game that I wanted to make, like the last project, I was like, hey, let's think about a random ass arcade old game, and the one that came to my mind, it was Frogger. Bad choice. I mean, let's be honest, I know what Frogger is, but not everyone knows what Frogger is, and that's maybe one of the biggest reasons why the game didn't perform as good. Or, well, the game and the video didn't perform as good because people might not even know what Frogger is. It's a bit sad, but it is what it is. And that's why, talking all of this, I've been thinking about being very direct from the very beginning about the idea, to evolve that idea and to see what people think about those ideas, and maybe later on we have the best version of the next video game. So my next video game, no further ado, I came with the conclusion of 3 different pitches. We have 3 video game ideas that one was with the help of a friend, 2 come from, well, one come from YouTube short that I did in the beginning of this year, and another one was the original idea that I was thinking of doing, even if I'm not mistaken, 2 weeks ago. No, 3 weeks ago. So, yeah, let me tell you the 3 ideas, the pitch ideas, the pitching of the 3 ideas. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. The first idea, imagine a video game that is completely based on the game Wii Sports. So, for example, you can play different sports from baseball to golf to bowling to whatever, different sports at the end of the day. So I was thinking about doing a sports game based on the idea of the Wii Sports, but for personal computers. That's the whole idea. Literally so simple as that. I was thinking of doing a cross-play multiplayer game where you can play against your pals and beat them if you want, and you can. Where you can play different sports with the idea, the main idea was to only use the mouse as the main gamepad, let's say. That's the first idea. The second idea, it's a farming simulator, okay, a bit based on Stardew Valley, but with the twist of having bandits at night. In other words, the whole lore behind the game and somewhat of the idea is that there are some bandits and criminals that are trying to use your farm to do plantations and, you know, do illegal stuff in your farm. So at the end of the day, the game that I was pitching and thinking, and a friend helped me to get to that idea, is to have a farming simulator that at night there are going to be bandits and you need to defend, somewhat of creating a base, defend, like a tower defense type of game, but as well with a bit of too much shooters and fancy stuff. And yeah, that will be somewhat of the idea. Doing like a farming simulator that at night you go against bandits, you defend your farm, you defend it with guns. Some ideas that came with doing this pitch was that maybe everything that happens at night may affect what happens at day. I'm sorry. So let's say they kill one of your guys. At the next day, they cannot do what they are supposed to be doing at your farm, so they might not be able to work on the plantation and everything that you do. So it's that one. When it comes to the lore, I came with the conclusion that it would be fun to do a lot of Mexican curious type of lore, you know, talking a bit of what happens in Mexico, you know, things that I don't know if I should say publicly, so that's why I call them bandits, but you might know what happens in Mexico. Yeah, so Stardew Valley with elements of survival and a lot of trying your best to survive against bandits. You know the type of bandits that we'd have in Mexico, the ones that try to use your plantation. You know. Yeah, that will be the second idea. The third idea, it's real simple. That one comes from an actual YouTube short that I did in the beginning of this year. and it's the idea of doing a Call of Duty first-person shooter, but with magic wands, magic and spells, and anything related to a bit of like doing something like Harry Potter, somewhat like it. So that will be the third idea. The third idea is so simple because I came to that one idea for a YouTube short. So it's not as explored. But yeah, I was thinking. So for example, instead of guns, instead of weapons like Call of Duty, you can use a magic wand, and you're like, you know, sounds somewhat fun. But and these three video game ideas. I mean, you can tell me your opinion, of course. I did some votes in Instagram. You probably heard about it, Matthew. I did some votes in every social media of mine. So Instagram, Twitter, YouTube even. And also I talk with my friends, some of my gamer friends, and I was like, hey, can you help me? And I pitch all of the ideas, and from the three ideas, the one that stood out the most is the one about the farming simulator with survival stuff. Right now, it's in a very early stage of the whole concept and idea. What I've been thinking about doing for it, it's going to be a 3D game. I am interested in doing 3D games mostly. If I notice that a 2D game would be better for this game, we'll see. But yeah, it's going to be a top-down with shooter mechanics, 3D movement, whatever. And that's why I've been that's one of the reasons why I'm going to be doing an RPG or doing a small RPG elements on these streams to kind of get some taste of how Godot works and get a taste so I can later on do this project. But yeah, that will be actually the pitches. What do you think? Actually, what I was thinking, and I'm going to be releasing this week a video that is somewhat of what I am currently doing. Actually, I'm going to be pitching the whole ideas and come to the conclusion of what I'm going to be doing next. Like everything that I just talk right now, I'm going to do it in a very concise and my type of videos of trying my best to keep everything interesting. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Something fun as well. That's good. Thank you. Something cool, in my opinion, about this project is that I met one of my newest friends in this year, closest friends, in my opinion, at the gym. I met him while, doing gym stuff. And in other words, he was the one that gave me the idea behind this whole farming simulator with survival stuff and guns and bandits. And yeah, he's going to help me reach to other people that might. I mean, this is not even confirmed, but it's something that might happen. That there will be some people besides me working on this project on many areas. Maybe not development, maybe not programming, maybe not 3D. We'll see. But mainly, maybe art, maybe sound. I cannot say too much because it's not even confirmed, but we are trying to make this game a bit bigger, a bit better than the last one. And yeah, the idea is that I'm going to be working with other people to keep this one fancier than the last project. So yeah, that would be the whole pitching. Yeah, feels good to talk it out in public. This is the first time I'm actually going directly to saying which one of the ideas is the one that I'm choosing. But yeah, I might be doing the farming simulator, and it's the one that has been more the most voted. It's funny because from those three ideas, the one that probably hopefully stood out to you the Wii Sports, but for personal computers, was my main idea. The one that I came to do 3 weeks ago, and was the main idea for a while until literally my friend told me like, "Hey, what if you do this and this and that?" And I was like, "Oh, maybe this and this and that," and here we are. And it's funny because nobody has been voting for that one. It's so sad that the idea that I was like, oh, that would be cool, is the least voted. But that's life, you know. That's life. And okay, taking that into account, we can start doing the development. As you can tell, um, we can go to my computer. Yeah, fancy the transitions. Oh yeah. Let's open Godot. Hopefully you can watch it. Maybe it's... oh damn. I might need to change some settings so you are able to watch it a bit closer now that I'm looking at it on my stream view. But yeah, what we are going to be doing in this stream when it comes to development is two things mainly. We're going to try to do the 3D movement, maybe learn a bit of how it works when it comes to C# with Godot, and yeah, dude, one thing that I find kind of important for what I'm going to be developing next for the big project. I am going to be doing what is known in Unity as scriptable objects. Scriptable objects are, in other words, a file or a class or a data. No, it's a class that technically holds data that later on you can read from code. So many people use it. For example, if you want to do a card game such as Magic the Gathering, you have the scriptable objects, and those scriptable objects have data. In other words, it has the amount of mana that requires, the type of mana, blah 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 blah, the information, the picture, like everything that is from that. It's made based on scriptable objects, aka a type of class that already sets all of that type of data, the name of the data, and you can manually create different versions of this file, and you have different types of cards in the case of Magic the Gathering. So in the case of maybe an enemy, you can create two types of enemies that come from the same scriptable object when it comes to the type of data that you can get from them. So in other words, health, maybe damage they can do, and stamina. But one thing is that maybe one has more health and less stamina, and one has more stamina than health and less damage, and you can tweak those data, those variables, those text and numbers. You can literally tweak them any moment. So it's faster than actually coding every single type of enemy and all that. So it's something that I'm going to be doing besides the 3D movement, that I'm going to test doing a I don't know if I should do a top-down 3D movement. I mean, the first one about trying to do a 3D movement is going to be easier because Godot, something cool that they do is that they do have templates. Templates allow you to kind of learn how the engine works behind it, but that also takes a lot of the magic of you coding everything from scratch, you know. But it is what it is. Yeah, as you can tell, I already have made some testing before. The only thing that I haven't done before is the scriptable objects that, in the case of Godot, from what I've been researching, is named global classes, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see. But yeah, let's create a new project. Let's do it with gamedev. Create folder, and we're going to name it streamer, maybe RPG test small game. Yes, let's set this as current. From what I've learned from this is RPG game, small game. What I've learned about Godot is that it's really easy when it comes if you actually know how to use Unity, because it's somewhat similar. It's a bit difficult, but it's pretty similar. And the fun thing about it is that it's really fast compared to Unity. So let's just create the project. There you are. That's literally it. Yeah, I noticed that it's not as big as possible. So let me set it a bit big and let's restart. Just so you can see it a bit clearer compared to, I mean, I can see it clear, but I'm literally here. Let me know if you can see the screen and if it looks good. The only thing that I don't like, that I don't find that good, but it can be solved when it comes to how Godot works. It's the documents and how they are set, the whole project, and how can you set everything in bins and folders and all of that, because I tend to be somewhat of a neat. I like everything to be neat. I am kind of freak. I'm a freak when it comes to making things look good. So when it comes to Godot, everything is in the resources folder that is res dot // Yeah, it's clear. Nice. Good. I've been trying my best to do this as good as possible, but let's see how it goes. We're going to be doing it. What do you think? I mean, I said 3D movement, but should we do let's do a top down. The funny thing about that I found really fun about Godot is that compared to Unity, everything is nodes. Like everything is nodes when it comes to Godot. So for example, instead of using a scenes, and a scene is a node. Instead of creating a prefab, or in other words, you want to create a player, it's up to you. Okay, that's great. You are giving me a lot of possibilities here. Oh yeah, what I will say. Yeah, so the character is a node, everything is a node. So, and those nodes have children that, in other words, are the components. So if you want to create a 3D ball or a 3D box, I mean, it's really cool. Everything are nodes, and those nodes have children, and those children have children. So it's at the end of the day a big family. Yeah. Yep. Let's create this main scene, and let's create a folder in the resources that is going to be a scene, I guess. Yes, save. Must be. Yeah, let's change it to scenes, because we're going to put. I mean, in Unity, I tend to have folders for scenes, folders for models, folders for everything, to be honest. Yep, help me, Jesus. Really fast, let me check something really fast. Let me check how does it look, because I haven't actually test how does it look like. It looks really good, eh? Damn, I look fancy here. Okay. Something funny, and I don't know if you're interested in knowing that, is that I don't have two screens. I actually just have one screen, but one, like, this whole screen is a 33 inches screen, 4K monitor. And what I am actually doing to have a bit of separation between what is happening in the stream and what's happening in the like what I'm showing to you is that what I do is that I am actually cutting like where you are looking at me, like in the stream, like where I'm currently at, is literally a part of the screen that I'm cutting, so you cannot watch that as that part. And in that part, I have everything from the stream to the current chat. So it looks like I have more than one monitor. It's a fun fact, really small fun fact. But yeah, let's create what to create. Let's create a scene. So let me show you a bit of what I've learned so far. I haven't learned that much, in my opinion, compared to many other people, but let's create a node 3D that's going to be named environment. That environment is going to have some cubes. Then in this case, those cubes are G3 CS. I don't know what does that mean, but that's how you put. That's how you put a box. So fun, bro. Game development can be fun. Yes. And where was I? Yeah, let's create the floor. Yes, 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 yes. No, 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 no. How can we? Oh, fuck. Oh, Jesus. I am looking how does it work. Yeah, it needs to be manually, I guess. Well, I can, from what I know, instead of the transform, what I have is kill me, Jesus. Oh, wait, I have a size here. Oh, I am just stupid. Sorry. Let's put 0.1 and 150 and 150 in the Z axis. Woo! Okay, that's a scene. Let's say that's a scene. And from what I know, you need to create a material. Yes. Overlay. Override. Yeah, this is the material. We need to create a new material. And let's put the albedo. Albedo is, in other words, the color. And let's put I don't know, greenish. Oh, that's weird. I don't know why it does look blue. It shouldn't be. But yeah, we have the floor. And yeah, that's, oh, it's because I'm choosing it. Ah, I'm kind of stupid, sorry. Yeah, and let me check my... yeah, I think it looks good. Yeah. As well, let me know, what do you think? I mean, I did a lot of fancy overlay for the whole stream to look at it kind of fancier than what I'm used to. So yeah, that's cool. It looks fancy. I mean, if you have noticed, I don't know if you have noticed, but my names and all my social media is here. But the fun thing about it is that literally most my social media is literally just Emilio Blacksmith. So it's just I just did it to look like, oh, look at me, I'm fancy. Where were we? Where were we? Yes, the floor. There's something about this CSG box is that they have a shape 3D, and that shape 3D can use collisions. That might be important later, so that's why I'm just noting it. Let's create another boxes. Let's create a yes. Let's rotate it. And I assume we can duplicate. Nice. Yeah, it's literally like Unity. What did I do? Okay, we have a scene. Can we change the name of them? It seems like not, but oh no, we do. Box. Rename. Oh. Box. That's funny. Box. Let's name them boxes. Boxes. I'm so good. Yes. We have the environment. And we might need to create a light. because in theory it's not lighted. So light, directional light, yes. Oh yeah, sorry. Let's put it right here. And I assume you can create shadows. Good, yeah, there's shadows. Oh, oh no. Okay, that's good enough, I guess. Sorry if my camera sometimes does that weird thing that turns off and then comes back. Node 3D. That is going to be lighting. And let's put it here. In case I do more lighting, you know, fancy lighting. And yeah, the main scene is ready. And I assume there's no camera, so if we try to do the current, there is nothing. Yes. Yes, there's nothing, as you can tell. So we need to create a camera. So camera 3D. Ooh, you can do control. Okay. Oh, let's do a bit of rotation. What it could be good. Let's do a preview. Not bad. Not bad at all. Can we change from global? Oh, what's that? Oh. Oh, that's the way it looks. Oh. In Unity, there was a difference between, yes, local, yeah. Because one thing is changing the local values, and another thing is changing the global. The global, of course, is a bit different, as you can have just noticed. Usually, it's with 0 to test. No, that's in Blender. Good. I mean, I should be able to see a scene. Good. Yeah, let me change something with the project, because there's something that I don't fully like about this, is that the size is not as I would like it. Let me do, yeah, windowed is okay, it's not resizable, and is viewport keep aspect. Yeah, all of this that I'm doing is just to make sure that it's always 1920 by 1080, and it's not resizable unless you do it inside the engine with a settings menu and all that fancy stuff. So if we try to change the size, yeah, it always stays the same. Yeah, good job. We have a scene. Great job. Let's create a new scene. You know why? We need a character or player. Let's name it player. Why not? That is going to be based on something that is already deployed by here. Character body 3D. That is technically saying it's just in Unity there's something named character controller, if I'm not mistaken. In other words, it just handles most of the things, aka it does most of the things regarding the movement, the the gravity and all that stuff. It helps you to have a lot of things that you don't need to manually set, so it's a bit faster to just put it and use it instead of creating something. Maybe we'll create something from scratch, but at first let's do this with this stuff. Yeah, yes, yeah, there's the player. Yeah, what do we need? Oh yeah, we need to create a shape based on collision shape. In other words, we want to create the collisions behind this object. Yeah, collision shape. There's going to be a capsule. We're going to set it a bit offset. We are going to add an offset. In other words, we don't want it to be always on the floor. And this is the collisions, from what I'm understanding. Collisions. Mm. 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 Yes. Let's create a node where we are going to put all the visuals. All of this is actually something that I already have done. That's why I'm so like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing. But later on, you're going to see that I don't know shit. Let's do a mesh. Yes. Yeah, mesh distance is just technically adding a 3D object on it. So, yeah, we have a player, let's say. Now, if you notice, we have created some presets you have for visuals. Yeah, for not only for visuals, but as well for the movement and some things that they are already set. Not I don't actually. It's not a preset that I do, but I kind of followed a tutorial to kind of how to do this small scene like really fast. It was literally a 7-minute tutorial that kind of tells us that you need to have a node. In other words, you have a parent node that is going to contain everything regarding visuals, aka a mesh instance that in this case is the, let's name it, the character. That's why I created a node that is for everything regarding visuals. That maybe later I mean I'm going to add maybe a preset to make it look better than this. I might do it myself. I don't think so. But yeah. Now that I have a player scene, I can just click and drag it into the scene. And I might not need the camera. Oh, that's yeah. Yeah, I think I need to put the camera inside the player. I'm not. Let's see. Because let's play it. As you can tell, there's yeah, there's nothing happening. Of course, naturally, but that's a player. That's a player. Let's change the color of it because it looks kind of meh. Skin. Oh yeah, material will be right. Let's create a new material. It's going to be blue, just because I will need to. I think that's good enough. Let's see. And just by changing the scene, as you can tell, it changes the preset or the prefab. It stays now blue because I did some changes. Okay. I think I need to delete the main camera from the main scene and add another camera here. Let's test. Because we want the camera to be always following the player, maybe, so it makes maybe more sense. Let's see how it goes. Let's add the 3D camera in the player. Oh, I see. Let's do somewhat of a top-down, but a top-down with an inclination. Somewhat like, what was this in the game? Cult of the Lamp. Yes. Okay. I need to face the player, I guess. Let's see how it looks. We'll see. I don't know if it looks good, but let's see it in the main scene. Okay, that can work. We have the camera now. Now, to add any code regarding the movement, let's create a new code. There's a button if you are following along. I mean, I don't know if you're doing it alone with me, but there's a button that helps us to create a new script. So let's create a new script that technically follows the basic movement, 3D movement. I might change this because I want to see if I'm able to pull something from from scratch instead of following what the preset is. So When it comes to Godot, there are two options: JavaScript or C#. I'm going to go for the good old C#. As I told you before, you can use C# for... Okay, you can use C# instead of Godot, well, the GD script, in the case you are someone like me that comes from the Unity game engine. So if you're interested, you can just use the good old classic C# script. And this is a classic movement for Gravity Games. Let's see. Probably I don't think I need this. Let me put this here. Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a big fan of having everything separated. You can use the editor has actually as like a code editor. Let me do some reloading here. Yeah. The engine has a code editor by itself, but I don't use it because I am crazy, I guess. I don't know. I feel like better when you have it separated. So I think I might need to change the font so you are able to see it more clearly. Let me see how am I going to do that. Font size, font zoom in. Okay, I'm going to do that again. Another one because it seems like it's not close enough for you guys. Another one. Another one. I think that's another one just in case. Yes. Okay. So yeah, in my case, I'm using Visual Studio Code. If you're interested to use tools like this, I use this for everything. To be honest, like recently, I've been doing a lot of portfolio pieces for to get a job, to land a job in what is this? As a front end developer, web developer. So yeah, that's why I've been using a lot of Visual Studio Code. And actually, I've been learning something I don't know if you guys have heard about, Neobeam. Just a small thing. If you are interested, it's fun to use. Very complicated, but fun to use. Okay. Okay. What happens if I build this? Because when you're using C#, you need to build every time you want to see some of the resources, maybe. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I am kind of tired because of the gym. Oh, we have... Okay. Okay. There are a lot of things that come already with the character body 3D. Yes. Let me see. So, in other words... Cool. Yeah, we have a set speed and a set jump velocity. In the case of this game, I don't want to add jumping, so I'm going to delete everything regarding jumping. Let me delete a bit of this. I don't care about that. We don't have gravity, so we don't care about gravity. We can delete this. And we have velocity. Yes, yes, yes. I might need to change this. I need to learn about it. I don't know how it works. But yeah. Because currently UI left, UI right, UI up, UI down is technically the arrow keys only, because it's the way it uses some... I mean, it's already set by Godot, but you can create your own input, like the whole settings of your whole input and where you're going to get that input from. So yeah, that's going to be cool, I guess. I hope. Yeah, let's see. If I am not mistaken, what is happening here? What is move and slide? Oh, I see. Okay, okay, okay. So, this code, technically what it's saying, let me do something here that you might not know, export. What this code is saying, in other words, is that... Let me put this here. Okay, you have a set velocity, speed. Well, set speed. That let's change it to a float. We don't want it to be constant. In other words, when you have a constant value, you are saying you are telling to the engine that you don't want it to be changed any time. Another thing is that you have a set amount of speed that in this case is 5. It's a float. A float is technically it's like a double. It's a number that has decimals. Yeah, fancy stuff. And you have you create a velocity. But what is velocity in this context? That's kind of interesting. I need to learn why it's doing this. It's kind of weird looking. Because it's actually telling, oh yeah, velocity equals velocity. So let's say if you're moving already, it's going to keep that same velocity. I assume that's why it is doing that. It gets the input, so in other words, it gets vector 2 that gets x plus, x minus, y, and y minus. In other words, up, down, left, right. And it's telling it that, well, first it is normalizing it. It creates like a vector 3 that in this case is the direction. And if direction, if it is not 0, then we are going to add velocity. Direction, and you're going to multiply the speed of it. The direction, okay, velocity x, mod f, move towards velocity x with that certain speed. Okay, too much information, too am I, okay. Move and slide, it seems is this. It's technically telling the engine for the character body 3D that you are currently moving. That's all literally. So okay. So let's see. Let's test the game. Save. Yeah, it's moving. Let me put it here so you can see it more clearly. How does it look? It looks good. Oh, it doesn't have any collisions. Oh, maybe because they don't have collisions like the boxes. Let me see if that is the case. Environment, boxes, and yes. Sorry in the case if you hear my dogs, they are sometimes kind of nasty. They like to do a lot of sounds. Good. It's nice. Okay. Good. Yes. Yeah. As you can tell, it's moving. Good. Good job, people. Okay. Yeah, it's moving. Good. What should we do? I mean, it is working, but I am not sure if I should. Oh yeah, something that I did tell you. I don't know if you noticed, but let's save this. Let's build it. Yes. The export thing that I did is to help me use the values that I set in the code outside the code. In other words, in the editor. Usually in Unity, you just set it public and it's going to allow everyone to see it in the editor. In the case of GODOT, what you need to do is actually set it, export it to everyone. In other words, you want to make it more than public. So in other words, if you want to do a private, because let's say I don't want it to anyone to see this besides me, I think we can do this. Seems like not. I need to be public. I don't know why. We'll see why. But yeah, if I save this, you will notice that we don't have anything here. We don't have anything. But what we need to do is build it. Okay. Good. Let me check everything out. Good. I have the press. I mean, oh yes. Sorry. I'm checking everything with the stream, just making sure that everything is doing fine. Okay, we're almost actually in. Okay, good. I'm going to try to be more like faster. Yeah, the movement, I mean, it's somewhat good. Put it here. I mean, it moves, but as you can tell, I don't like the speed. It's kind of slow. That's why we can change the whole speed outside the like here. You can change it outside. That's why you make things public, so you can change it in the editor. So right now it should be faster. Yes, it's faster. Nice. Good. Yes, good. Congrats to us. Okay, I am starting to feel kind of tired, but let's try our best to do. I mean, the movement, I think it's good enough. Like, we're going to keep the preset that comes with it. That's the something that I've been learning about Godot. There are many things that are already set. There are things that are not. And that's why we need to create this thing. Let's see. Besides that, the boxes, let's create a new scene that is going to be an enemy, I guess. I don't know. Oh yeah, something that I've been telling you. The code is looking really rough. I mean, the folders are looking really bad. I don't like it that everything is in the scene. So let me create a new folder. It's going to be scripts, and let me pull the C# script. What is this? Why? I guess everything is alright. Just if I've built it. Yeah, let's see if everything's still working. Good. Yeah, everything is alright. Just making sure that it's still working. You know, it's really weird sometimes. Okay, good. Movement still works. Let's thank you for the support. Getting there. Yes. Let's create a new script. I don't know if I can create it from here. Yeah, good. It's going to be a C# script from no 3D, I assume. This is where things get a bit complicated. Let's skip the node. And default node, yes, it's going to be named. How can we name it? Usually, enemy stats. Yeah, because we finished the 3D movement, now we need to see if we can create the scriptable objects, the thing that I told you about, creating two different files that come from the same one. No 3D, I don't know if that exists. Yes? Let's create. Let's see if it explodes. I don't know. Good. From what I learned, let me get the documentation. This is where everything starts to get a bit more complicated. Let's get the documentation here. And first, let me search. I think it was poop. Global. From what I remember, it was global classes. Godot. I think. Good. Yes? Okay. I think I made a mistake. Let's see if it's okay if I do this and if it explodes. Hopefully it's not going to explode. Hopefully. And let me close this. And let's see how it goes, how it rolls. Yes, because the documentation, let's read it together so we both learn. A global class, also known as named scripts, are types registered in Godot editor so they can be used more conveniently. These classes showed up in the add node and create resources dialogues. In other words, you can create many versions of this same code. In other words, fancy stuff, you know, fancy stuff. I assume it's okay. Yeah, everything is alright. Good. So the documentation says that we can just create the. Let me see this. Let me see this. Let me open this. And where did I put this? Yes. Yes. Okay. Sorry. So we can, as you can tell, if we create it, we have a public partial class. Partial? Why partial? Well, we'll see how it goes. We need to create this based on this. Let's create enemy stats. Let's delete. Oh, everything is partial. I'm just stupid. Sorry. Let me save it, and let's create based on the documentation. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm trying to do actually. Global class. Let's create a global class. I assume if I do this, and let's say I do an export. In other words, when I already told you that you can make things available in the editor. And let's create a private. Should I do it private? Let's do it public, just in case. Public and private, the difference is that public can be accessed and private cannot be because it's private. So in other words, if you want everything to be safer, you create a private variable, just if you are interested in knowing the difference. And yeah, let's create a health. How usually I would create it in Unity, it would be a thing like that. Health points, I guess. Let's create another one just right now. We're going to create, because I'm doing a quote-unquote RPG, we are going to create three variables. In other words, the health, the stamina, and the damage that they can deliver. Okay, just this thing that I'm doing, the slash, that lower slash I'm doing, it's named snake. I think it was a snake. I don't remember if it was Pascal. In other words, it's a way convention, naming convention. In other words, the way you usually name the variables. So snake, no, it wasn't snake. I think it was Pascal actually. Pascal case. It's somewhat like Pascal, but here it is. No, a snake. It's not a snake. Going crazy. Where did I learn that then? I think I learned that from Unity. But yeah, the usual one, it will be camel. I mean, camel case is saying, okay, the first letter is going to be minuscule. I don't know if that's the way you say it in English. I'm sorry. Right now. That's something that I don't remember in English. Huh. But yeah, one thing is capitalized and the other is not capitalized. In other words, if you want to create stamina, if you created stamina points, stamina, the first is going to have, it's not going to be capitalized, but the second one is going to be capitalized. In other words, that's camel. But if you are doing Pascal, from what I remember, it will be, all of them are going to be capitalized. What I tend to do is both. Because I mean, technically every time I do a private variable, I try to do it with this slash, just to make sure that I know that it's private. It's just a fancy stuff. Let's just create another, the other one really fast. Public int damage amount. Okay. And yeah, we have the set stats that we can then modify later on. The enemy stats, yes, it's here. Good, let's just build it. Just in case, okay. So, if I am not mistaken, we can create a scene. It's going to be a 3D scene. Yeah, it's going to be a 3D node. Let's create a 3D node that, in other words, is everything. Everything is a 3D node. Let's create an enemy that is going to be, what should we do? An archer. Let's just do an archer just because I'm feeling fancy. This archer is going to have, can we throw this? No, I don't know if I can do this. yeah, I think I should add it as a child. I am. This is very confusing sometimes. Enemy stats. Oh, nice. As you can tell, it's there. Good. So, yeah, we can modify them. Good. So the archer is going to have 80 points of health and a stamina of 120 because it's fast as hell. And I'm sorry because of my webcam again. And it's going to have a damage amount of 30. Yes, why not? And that archer is going to have visuals. So it's going to be node. No 3D. For everything related to visuals. Okay, and it's going to have a CS box, and it's going to have collisions. And we're going to create another Node 3D that's going to have, in this context, I think I should create the where we are going to showcase the stats. I don't know if I can do this. This is literally just testing random things. So, text. Oh, can you create a text? Well, it says texture, but text edit. Can you? Oh yeah, but it's not on top of it. Can we create a 3D text? Let's see. That's why we are testing different things. Let's see. I don't know if we can do that, but let's learn together. Woo! Yes, everything is looking good. 3D text. Oh, they are. Label 3D. Okay, we need to create a label. Label 3D. Oh. So I assume. Okay, it's there. Text test. Okay. Enemy. Just name it enemy. And let's change the visual so it is red because red equals bad. You know, that's how it works. Enemy. Let's just build it just in case. I don't know how am I going to get that data. That's why we're going to actually create a code that is going to get that enemy stats just in a moment. I guess we'll see. Woo! It's always. Oh no! It's never. It's not always facing. Auto wrap. Is there a way to always face the? No, maybe. We need to check that if there is a way to actually always face the camera. If there's a way, that could be real cool. Fixed size, no depth text, say that, billboard, alpha god. No. What could be good? What could be good? Oh, we'll see. Oh, we can make it bigger. Okay. We have an archer. Okay. We created an archer that has that stats. Archer. Oh, I didn't pull it right. Yes, good. Oh, damn. I just noticed something. Yeah, the visuals are going to be a bit... let me see it on the side. Yes. Good. I'm so tired. What was I? Oh yeah, let's change the color. Material. Let's put a red material. And where is it? Yeah, this. Yeah, this red works, I think. Yes. Good. Good, 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 good. I assume we can just throw the archer here. And there you have it. We have an enemy. I assume if we look at it like this, you have an enemy. Woo! Okay, and yeah, it's collision. Yes. Yeah. Let me just set the stats to be a bit more. Yes, like that. Yeah, that way it's technically facing the. Let's see. I think that will be better looking for the player. Yes, 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 yes. Good, good. We have technically an archer. But, oh, I didn't do that. Let me go back to the code and let's do another thing that I didn't thought about it just now. It came to my mind. What if we create a string? In other words, the name of the enemy type. Enemy type. I guess I can change the text to be enemy type, stats, you know? Yes, we have, as you can see, many different types. And let's create a code for this. That's something interesting that I need to check. If there is a way to cancel. Enemy. Let's just name it enemy. And rename this enemy 2. You will see why. We want to create something based on this. Enemy. Okay. Okay. Let's delete this. You're going to see why. Because I assume we are not going to be creating a different types of scene just because we have one enemy. So we're going to have different enemies with the same base. So for example, in the context of this, I assume we can create. Wait, let me see how this works. That's interesting. I need to check that out. If we can create like a version of it based on the same thing. We can create a new version. I need to check that out. What I'm trying to do, in other words, is that I'm trying to instead of me creating different scenes for every single enemy, I want to create just one enemy type, like one prefab. It will be in other words, and from there beautiful children. Yes. Yeah, if we build it. Okay. I assume archer. Okay. And in theory, if I'm not mistaken, the enemy is not being changed. We can just put 100, 100, and 50. I don't know. Maybe. And 100. We can create a. I don't know if this counts. Let me see. Let's see. What is a placeholder? Editable children. Make local. Oh, I see. Okay, yes. What I'm understanding is that by making it local, what you're doing is first, let's do, in the case of the archer, we have the enemy type, that is archer, the health points that are, yeah, it's going to have really low health points, and it's going to have a stamina of 120, damage of 30. Okay, good, not bad. But what are we going to be doing now, in a moment, is that we're going to create a code for every single enemy that's going to deploy. Yeah, I think so. It's going to deploy the data from the enemy stats in that everyone is going to be able to look in the case of the game. That's the thing that I was interesting to see if I'm able to show that. Enemy. Yeah, enemy is okay. I think enemy is pretty fine. C#, yes. Okay. Call one. I assume that's okay. We don't need to change it over time, or not right now. We're going to create a private chain. It's going to be a void. We're going to create a function that is going to allow us to change all the data. Okay. Change data. I assume this is okay. Yes, good. Yeah, it's like the good old C#. We're going to create. We're going to export. What it could be good. It's label 3D, but I don't know if I can do this. And stats showcaser. No, what it could be good. Stats. Let me make it a bit bigger now that I'm looking at it. Maybe not as visible for everyone. So just making sure that everyone is having a great experience. Yeah. Stats showcase. Label. Just name it as it is. Let's see what happens if I do that. Stats label dot text. Oh, we can help me, Jesus. I'm literally just assuming a lot. I don't know if this is going to work. In theory, if it begins, it's going to show in the beginning, help me, Jesus. Okay. Good. It's working. Yeah, I mean, I know how to code, it seems. And as you can see, we have the help me, Jesus character. Good. Now, taking that into account, we can modify the text with data that it cares for. I care about. And later on, maybe I can do bars like health bars and stamina bars and all that fancy stuff. But right now, I'm able to change some data by just making it public and accessing it with code. That's how it works always. That's literally how it works. We're going to create a change data. We're going to call that, yes. And we're going to then, I assume we can do this. This is the way I would usually do it with Unity. We're going to create a public. Yes, good. Enemy stats. Enemy stats. I think by doing it public, then I can do. Let's create first a string. There's going to be the stats data, stats text equals to. We're going to create first. I assume by doing this enemy stats. Good. Enemy type. I assume. Let's test that out because I'm not sure if that's possible. Change data, enemy type. I assume by doing that, it should just deploy by the name that we set on it. So, it's set as enemy. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, we're not setting it. That's why it's not working. Here. We're not assigning it. That's why it's not working. Sorry there. I'm just kind of stupid. Yes, it should. Well, now let's see why is it not changing it here. Yes, enemy stats. In this case, it's Archer. It should deploy it. Because it shouldn't. Maybe it's the code. Call a function. Let's see how to call a function. GODOT call function. C#, GODOT. Yeah, we're in GODOT. Good. Oh yeah, I'm so stupid. That's why. Sorry, it's because we're literally not using the string that we created. The text, we're literally not using it. The text equals stats text. If I do this, it should work. Hopefully. Let's see if it goes. It's kind of a weird song. No, I'm not. I didn't change the song, sorry. There you are. Yeah, now we can see that it's an archer. How can we do a break? I don't know. That's going to be interesting. Label 3D. I assume we can actually create different ones. The type is going to be green, okay? Because why not? No, that will be actually kind of confusing. Greenish. That is going to be there. Yeah, let's create different ones. That makes more sense. Stats. Yeah, this is going to be the enemy type. Label. Now we're going to have the enemy. No. Health. Wait, is there 3D label 3D var? I'm trying to see if there is somewhat of a 3D UI bar. Container. Yeah, we have containers. I assume it should be in canvas, but yeah. Not good. Maybe let's just deploy it here. Doesn't matter. Okay, sorry. Yes, sorry. There you go. We're almost done. Sorry for the whole shenanigans of trying to figure out how this works, but I assume if we do how can we do break? Let me see, because I am not sure. Let's do a break. Label text break. Break line. GODOT C#. Should it work? File. No, I shouldn't. Sorry. Uppercase, line spacing, auto grab mode. Text, test. Yeah, we have uppercase, but structure, yeah, we don't care about this. Too much information, bro. Because I don't know if you can do that. Like the break line. In theory it does. Let's see. Maybe it doesn't work here, but it works on code. Let's see. Hopefully. If it does, I mean, it's going to help us a lot, you know? Let's see. Let's add another pile of text. In this context, we're going to create what did I create it? We care about. Let's put this on the side so I can just add it up. I am doing this just to have a separation of how it looks and to have a bit more control of how it looks. You know, I have the pressure. Oh yeah. So we want to showcase the health points. HP equals, and we are going to just call the enemy stats. It's not too fancy, but it is what it is. Health points. Yes. And we're going to add a break of line. Hopefully it's going to work. If it works, we are done here. Yes. Good job. Hopefully it's going to be done. Hopefully. Because I'm kind of tired. Not going to lie. I am really tired. Tamina equals. It has been a long day. I went to the gym. I did somewhat a lot of things, to be honest. And I broke my body like every single day. I just need to add. What else? Why is it? It cannot be. Then why have I? Oh, sorry. I think I know why. It was because of that. Yeah. Let's see. I mean, if it works, it works, you know? Theory, I'm saying I am that. I am. Oh, it did work. Good. Nice job, people. Yeah, we have an archer now. Great. I don't know if you can tell, but it does say archer. That was, in other words, the type of enemy. It has the health points. It has the stamina. It's working. And I just need to showcase something else. I might be a bit. Okay. It's just a recommendation. It's okay. I might be a bit slow. I'm sorry if it's too slow, but it's because I am actually learning with besides you. I don't know anything if it should work or not. I'm literally just a lot of it is just me trying to see if it works or not. That's why, as you can tell, I'm just like, oh damn, it works. It's because I don't know if it's going to work. Rolling pin game. Yes, actually, yeah. No, I mean, it's not going to be a big game. I actually talk about it early on the stream. Hi, Octopus. Welcome to the stream. I am going to be doing a game in GODOT. It's going to be a farming simulator slash survival slash shooter slash defend your farm at night. So I'm currently doing this small project that is going to be for this week. I'm going to be doing this week this small project to kind of get an idea of how GODOT works in terms of code. And once I have a bit more knowledge, I can just, do the whole game. But yeah, right now, yeah, that's the idea. That's why we're doing a RPG, but literally I'm just testing different components, like how can you create different types of data, how different types of enemy. That's why we're doing right now an archer. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know who are you, Octopus, but I don't know if you knew this. I am from Mexico. So a bit of the story behind the game, or the lore behind the game, is that we are protecting the farm against bandits. Those bandits are in other words, criminals who are trying to do illegal stuff in our farm, and that's why they want our plantations. If you know what I mean. I don't know if I shall or shall not say the word exactly as it is, but it has to do a bit of the Mexican culture. It has to do a bit of, Mexican curious stuff. So we are going to be defending your farm from criminals who are trying to settle in your farm. And what you're going to try to do is to get more people to help you in the farm and help you defend. So it's going to be, that's where it comes, the tower defense mechanics. Where were we? Now we are going to add just the damage amount. Damage equals damage amount is, in other words, damage amount in other words is the amount of damage that we can do. So and stats, damage amount, and we're done. I mean, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Okay. Nice. So yeah, that was intended for this stream. Actually, I wanted to do just the movement to have an idea of how does it work in Godot. We could do a bit of more things. I mean, it has been a 2-hour stream, and I don't want to overdo it. I actually did a checkbox for the ones that are new to this stream. I actually did a checklist of things that I needed to do for this stream, and from all the things that I did, I talked about if you're a beginner, shall you learn Unity? What is the difference, or why should you go for Godot or Unreal Engine? Another thing that I talked about was the pitch of this game that I currently was talking with Octopus about. But yeah, I mean, this is working. I mean, I wanted to see how this works. In other words, I wanted to see how can we create another player. But there's something else that we need to do before the end of the stream, and it's something that I was just anticipating, is that we can create different enemies. We have enemy 1, that in this context is an archer with 75 health points, 120 stamina points, and 30 of damage amount. Now we need to create another one, but first let me do from what I understand, I need to check if this is legal. You can create things locally. So in other words, you can just copy and paste this thing. It takes a bit of the prefab of the enemy type, and you can create another one, enemy number 2. And this enemy number 2 might be what other thing? What could be cool? Wizard. Let's create a wizard. Yeah, let's create a wizard. Wizard, I assume, has what could be cool? 100 of health points, stamina. It might be really slow, so let's put 60 because I'm crazy, and the damage amount that he can do. His crazy, so it's going to have a 60 damage attack. In theory, should work. Or didn't. Why? File. Unable to write what? Save file. Save this. My. But why? What happened? Let's see what happened. Maybe I don't know how GODOT works. Oh, help me, Jesus. Yeah. Should it has this same name? That's why. Let's see. Let's build. Just curious. I'm curious why it didn't work. We will need to say a bit more, a bit longer. This why? Jesucristo, why? Damn. Why? Oh, is it because it's calling another one? Let's see. Oh, yes, it's calling another one, that's why. So in other words, you're going to rename it. I assume. Let's see. Maybe I'm crazy, you know? I'm crazy. I'm going insane. Jesucristo. Jesus Christ. Yes, actually. Yeah, Octopus. I did move. Well, I'm currently moving. I mean, of course it does. In my opinion, it doesn't have anything to do with the money aspect of it, the fee and all that stuff. It has more to do about the whole bad practices. You know, what if one day I am developing something really big in 3 years, and out of nowhere I publish it, and hey, now your game is I will cut 90% of your net worth from it, and it's going to be mine now. So you know, it's just being safe and testing new tools such as GODOT. That's why I am switching from it. And yeah, I used to be. I mean, I know a lot of Unity, and that's why I'm trying my best to do a switch. And I am doing small projects, and that's why later on my next project, my bigger project, is going to be in GODOT. I kind of talk about it early in this stream, so maybe once the stream is done, you can watch it in your free time. But as you can tell, the thing that I wanted to create, two type of enemies, is working correctly. God bless America. I need to check if this is legal or this is too much. Yeah, I mean, Unity is really good. In many areas, it's really good. Just as Unreal, I mean, you can choose whatever, and I think at the end of the day, it's just a tool, so you can go whatever you like the most and you feel the most comfortable with. But I feel a bit more comfortable using something that maybe if I do a bigger project, you know, they don't stab you in the back or something like that. I mean, it depends on what do you want to do. In my case, someone that kind of knows C#, that's why I'm switching to GODOT, because I feel more comfortable using the programming language and just literally translate most of my knowledge from Unity to GODOT, and at the end of the day, it's going to be the same. I might do something in Unity, yes, but more small projects maybe, and maybe doing more prototyping because I feel a bit more comfortable with the tool. But at the end of the day, when it comes to bigger projects, I will do just like right now, use the GODOT engine. And yeah, it's a bit sad of what happened. In my opinion, Unity, I mean, literally 2 months ago, if you ask anyone about their opinion with Unity, it would be just praise and being like, yeah, it's good. Or unless they would be an Unreal Engine fanboy, that will be like, yeah, no, Unreal is better. But yeah, whatever. At the end of the day, it's just a tool. And what is a bit more worrying is the company. At the end of the day, Unity is a really good tool. But if the company is the one that out of nowhere is like, hey, I want money, that is where you should be worried. But yeah, that will be it for the stream, I guess. We created 2 enemies. The movement is working like the way I want it. I might switch it up way more in my free time. This is not the last stream. This is literally my first stream ever. And I might do a stream later this week. I might just I don't think so, Octopus. That's the sad thing. Let me put talking only now. Thank you. Let's close this. Let's close this. Let's do now the talking. Yeah, it's a real shame. How to explain it is, I don't think they are going to be able to recover fully the trust. At the end of the day, it's a company. They need to make money, of course, and more now that they are a public company. They need to make sure that they give their shareholders the money, you know. So it makes the most sense. But at the end of the day, it's just a tool. So you can switch up. You can try Unreal Engine later and do whatever you want. In my case, I am just going for Godot because it's cool. I mean, I feel comfortable with it. I was just literally in this stream. I was doing a lot of like theorization, like testing if all my theories were right, and literally was most of them were right because a lot of my knowledge from C# can be translated to Godot. So at the end of the day, that's the cool thing of learning different programming languages and being able to not over, how to explain it, the tool doesn't define you as a developer. If you are just a Unity developer, you should be worried. But if you are a video game programmer, you should test yourself in different game engines. Even try yourself, like I am testing if I'm going to be able, maybe for a video, who knows. I'm going to try to do a game without any game engine, but we'll see. I mean, at the end of the day, we should try whatever we can, you know. And I mean, I don't want to end this the stream before I want to show you the something that I created just for the streams, and you will see later. But I want to show it again. It's really fun. I like it. Let me hide the audio from the desktop, and this. Look at that. That's me. Yeah, that's me going to the bathroom. If you ever ask yourself why is there a frog running, that's me. Yes. Maybe you, Octopus, if you're new, you might not know why why there is a frog. The last project that I did, it was a remake of Frogger, but with ragdolls. It didn't do well at all. That's why I'm starting to do more YouTube streams and more communication directly to my audience. Sorry, my audience. So yeah, I literally got that frog and did ragdoll movement based on kind of Fall Guys, kind of gang based. So it's really fun. If you're new, you could check the last video, and yeah. I guess it's time for me to just rest. It has been an amazing first experience of doing streams. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Octopus, for being here. I really appreciate you guys, and I might do a stream later on in this week. Probably it's going to be on Wednesday. If not, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I don't fucking know. You know, we'll see. But if it is not this Wednesday, it might be at the end of the week on Friday. It's going to probably be following this same project. But yeah. I mean, I feel proud about this first stream. I hope you guys did like it. If you got into the point that you watched it kind of late, you can watch it again. I mean, the idea behind this stream was to make it kind of very planned, like if it was a video, as planned as possible. So if you're later on, I'm going to add some chapters about what I talked about. If you are a beginner, should you learn Unity, the difference between Godot and Real, uh, what my next video game is going to be about, and the whole development. If you're interested in looking at it later on, thank you so much. And yeah, I'm starting to lose my voice. From all the talking. It's really tiring to be talking. But yeah, I guess this will be the end. Now that I think about it, I should create another frog one when I'm ending the stream. But yeah, I'm going to put this one because technically I'll be back. But thank you so much for being here, guys, and see you next time.